Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a week in my life. Today I am taking you on a trip we did through Germany at the end of August, traveling all by train. Our first stop was the city of Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf is the 7th largest city in Germany, and its name comes from the combination of the words Dussel, which is the name of a small river in the city that you're seeing right now, and the word Dorf, which in German means village or town. The city is divided by the Rhine River, with its Altstadt, the Old Town, on the east bank, where most of the government buildings, shops, restaurant parks, and tourist spots are located. After walking through the Old Town, we decided to cross to the west bank of the river. This other part of town seems a lot less touristy and more residential, and more for the locals. It was a really hot summer day and Oreo took the opportunity and went for a swim in the Rhine River. We then went back to the Old Town area, walked around a bit more, but we were really tired from the trip, so we went back to the hotel, ordered some room service and went to sleep. On the next day, we woke up really early to take a train to the neighboring city of Cologne, or Köln as it is pronounced in German. Cologne is the 4th most populous city and one of the oldest in Germany, and it is also located on the Rhine River banks. The city's medieval Catholic cathedral is the tallest cathedral in the world, and it miraculously survived the bombings of the city during World War II. This day was the hottest one on our trip, so although we walked a lot, we also made a few stops along the way to relax for a while. German cities have lots of parks and green areas, and while in Cologne, we visited the Innere Grünwald, a huge park to the west of town. Then it was time to head back to Dusseldorf, and we went to the harbor district there, where the Rhine Tower is located and where you can find modern-looking buildings and hotels. It was very late then, so we couldn't find anything open to eat in the old town, so we went for room service again, which honestly I love. On day 3, we boarded a new train, this time from Dusseldorf to Hamburg. Hamburg is the 2nd largest city in Germany, right after Berlin. We stayed in the area of Hafen City, which is a new neighborhood that is still growing, with a lot of buildings being constructed at the moment. We then visited the Maritime Museum, which was in the area, and then Chile House, a very original brick building shaped as a huge boat. We then got to the city center, where the town hall, or Rathaus as it is pronounced in Germany, is located, got our Starbucks fix and went on to explore more of the city. We honestly fell in love with Hamburg right away, with the buildings, the water, the canals, the overall atmosphere, and couldn't believe we had waited this long to finally visit. In the afternoon, we headed to Dusseldorf Park, a lovely green area with plenty of spots to visit, wildlife and many flower beds. For dinner, we went to one of our favorite spots in Germany, Glück, a restaurant that serves delicious burgers and fries and that is pet-friendly, which you know we love. Day 4 was a super rainy day all day long, and although we thought the rain would stop, well, it didn't. So instead of walking like we usually do, we decided to take the subway to avoid getting wet. We went back to the Außenalster or Alster Lake, the largest artificial lake in the city, and walked along its shore. Then we hopped on a bus and went to visit Stadtpark, which means city park in German, a massive green space with a lake, pool, playgrounds, statues and sports facilities that also houses the Hamburg Planetarium, one of the world's oldest. We then took a bus to the opposite shore of the outer Alster Lake to visit some of the city's fanciest neighborhoods with expensive houses, mansions, and embassies. We enjoyed the sunset with my favorite view of the city and then ended the night at the Hamburg Philharmonic that has views of the city. Day 5 was our last full day in Hamburg, and we decided to take a boat trip. You might not know this, but Hamburg actually has more bridges and more canals than Venice, Amsterdam, and London combined. So, visiting the city by boat rather than by foot is an excellent choice. The boat toured the outer Alster Lake and some of the northern canals, allowing us to see buildings and houses that are only accessible by water and exploring the area from a different point of view. Plus, the boat trip was pet-friendly, so that was definitely a pro. After this, we headed to Altona, one of Hamburg's oldest boroughs. Altona was founded in 1535 as a village of fishermen because it is located right on the Elbe River, Hamburg's main river, and right across the city's port. This port, the Port of Hamburg, is Europe's third largest port and the biggest one in the country. If you buy the daily transport tickets for Hamburg, ferries on the Elbe River are also included, so we took one to head to the entrance of the Elbe River Tunnel. This tunnel opened in 1911 and is a pedestrian and vehicle tunnel, but is going under construction right now, so it's only working for people and bicycles at the moment. The 426-meter-long tunnel was a technical sensation at the time it was built over 100 years ago to help workers get to their jobs at the port. We walked it back and forth and then took one more ferry to Hafen City to to be able to see the Philharmonic building from the water, which was truly beautiful. To end our visit, we had a lovely dinner on my favorite spot in town, watching the town hall right on the water. On day 6, we finally left Hamburg and headed north on a train to Binz. Binz is the largest seaside resort on the German island of Bergen, located on the north of the country. The town of Binz is famous for its charming and well-kept historical resort architecture and the natural scenery. We were planning on having a beach summer day, but the weather was a bit cold and windy, cloudy, so we settled for a walk around town instead. And we visited the town's dog beach, where Oreo was able to run free and get in the water. We stayed at the Villa Salvi Hotel, which I highly recommend, and had dinner there, which was lovely. On day 7, we woke up on our beautiful hotel in Binz, where we had gotten the best room with views of the ocean, and then quickly headed to the train station to take a train to Berlin. Berlin is the only city on our trip that we had previously visited, so we decided to stay there for just 2 days. Berlin is the capital and largest city of Germany by both area and population. Its 3.8 million inhabitants also make Berlin the European Union's most populous city. Our main activity for the day was visiting the Gate of Brandenburg and then the Großer Tiergarten, Berlin's largest and oldest park that has many walking paths and bodies of water as well. For dinner, we stopped by the Sun Center, which was close to our hotel and has many restaurants to choose from. Day 8 was the last full day of our trip, and we decided to visit some new areas in Berlin where we hadn't been before, to the north of the Spree River, where we had branched and walked through the area. We then headed to Alexanderplatz, one of the most well-known areas in Berlin, and ended our day with one last room service at our hotel. On the 9th day of our trip, we took a train from Berlin to Munich, and that is the end of our trip. Hope you like this video. See you next time.